here! Just like I dreamt it, they're here!
Hold still, scum sucker.
Hey guys, what is up? It's kcosmic here, back with you for another wonderful video, and today is going to be another one of my review videos. And the map we're looking at is going to be tagged or TOTEN. Now the way the review works is that I tell you the good things about the map, and then I go into the bad, and then I give you my overall opinion, and tell you if it's worth your time and money. Now with that said, get your jackets on, because tagged or TOTEN is cold, and we're going right into the middle of it.
I think I understand. I know why I am here.
As always, we start out with the good, and to be honest, I think this map is the best map in BO4 to have a good time on. The map overall flows really well and is good for new and old players alike. The pack-a-punch system in this map isn't hard at all. All you need to do is turn on power, pick up a blue glowing rock, take it to Pablo upstairs at the lighthouse, and then there you go. There's also a new pack-a-punch machine which is known as gold pack-a-punch, which is on a little island of its own, and once you reach it, you can get a fully pack-a-punch weapon for the price of one pack-a-punch. Thanks, Derek. Another thing I like about the map is that there are no bosses, just good old simple zombies. We do have dogs, fire zombies, and electric zombies, but the map has a lot of space, so the dogs aren't a problem. Electric zombies don't change gameplay that much, and fire zombies, you can get rid of them. Just throw snowballs at their head 3 times, pick up the parts for the dynamite, and then they won't spawn in. So thanks again, Treyarch, for giving us an option to get rid of these fire zombies. Another thing that should be noted about this map is that it looks absolutely stunning. Whether you're looking at the sky, the snow, the ship, or the glowing 115 around the map, the map makes me feel alive, and past zombie maps have gotten hate for not being dark and having more of a relaxed theme, but this map does brightness right and looks 100 times better than Call of the Dead, as it doesn't have that dark gloomy theme. Now that's what it was going for before, and sure it does do really good in that category compared to this, but overall I think this map just looks so much better, and it could be compared to a BO3 map in all honesty. The other maps not so much, but this map especially, and maybe Ancient Evil, could definitely be compared to Black Ops 3 maps. Now another thing I like about the map are the wonder weapons. For the most part everyone can get one, and they're all available for doing side quests and from hitting the box. The wonder weapons are the Thunder Gun, the new Wonder Wolf, and a different version of the Thunder Gun called the Tundra Gun. But if there's 4 of you, the 4th player can still get a Ray Gun Mark II, so that's still pretty good. Sadly for there is no side quest for it, so you're just going to have to hit the box. Now all these weapons are great except the Tundra Gun, but they did give it a bit of a buff, so it's a bit more usable now, but before it was completely useless, and I don't know why you pick it over the Thunder Gun. Another thing I love about Tag is the map progression. Around the map there are 5 scarecrows that give you 3 challenges each to do, and they give you rewards for completing them, which has been lacking from many zombie maps. For example, one of the rewards is a self-revive that is always welcome. And for the most part, these challenges aren't that hard. A new player should find it pretty easy to complete most of them, and going back to map progression, you don't need to do these to keep the game going. If you don't want to do them, you don't have to do them, and that's how side quests should be. Another thing I really like about Tagged or TOTEN is the Easter egg. To be honest, I think it's probably one of the better Easter eggs in Black Ops 4. It's definitely better than Bloods, it's definitely better than Alpha Omegas, and it's 100% better than Classified, because Classified is just impossible. But playing through it and doing all the steps and just the Easter egg in general, it's not the hardest definitely, but it's definitely not tedious or anything like that. I will say towards the end maybe it's a bit more tedious because you have to kind of do the same stuff again, but if any new players are going to do an Easter egg, it would be this. It's not the longest Easter egg in the world, and that's not always a bad thing, because sometimes when Easter eggs are really long it drags it out quite a bit, and it didn't take me too long to do it, so I think if you want to go and try the Easter egg, it's definitely recommended, as it is a fun Easter egg. I found at least when you have the right weapons. There's not a lot of RNG involved with it. You only really need the Wonder Wolf, which you can get from a side quest, and you need the Samantha. That coming on to my next point is the Samantha boxes. The Samantha boxes are pretty much monkey bombs, but they're a lot better and cooler in some ways. Pretty much you just throw it, she comes out of a box, and she makes all the zombies levitate, and then she kills them all. Definitely one of the cooler monkey bombs we've ever seen, and Is it that effective at killing? Not really, but it is definitely better than the standard monkey bomb. Another small thing I like is the George Romero Easter egg where you you press his glasses and you get 500 points. I thought that was quite a nice addition to the map, and it wasn't distasteful because, as we all know, he's passed away, and he was on the original Call of the Dead. He'd walk around and make the game harder for you. But I think it was just nice that they referenced him and they put him in a really good light as well, with each of the characters having their own quote. And when you press the glasses, you get 500 points, which I think is just a nice little, since you know it, it's a little thing on the side that you don't have to do, as I've said again, but it's something positive that gives you points, kind of like in Shadows of Evil, where you throw the grenade in the room just outside the spawn, and you get the bit of paper. I'm pretty sure it flies when it makes contact with it, and you get 500 points from that. So yeah, that's pretty nice. I like how they added that in, and it's definitely not distasteful towards George Romero. For those of you who don't know, George Romero was a movie director, and he was one of the original people to make the zombie films, and it all kind of started from him. So in a way, if he didn't do that, we wouldn't have zombies if it wasn't for him in the long run, as he made the first zombie movies. So rest in peace, George Romero, and thank you for giving us zombies. But anyway, another point I would like to make about this is the boss fight. It's not really a boss fight, it's more of a lockdown period where you're in a bubble, and when you leave the bubble you take damage, and the bubble goes all around the map and you have to kind of fend off zombies as you're doing it. It's pretty intense, and it's a bit more interesting than a normal boss fight, I would say. Definitely better than Alpha Omega's sort of boss fight, since we're comparing it to the boss fights, even though it's not a boss fight, and definitely better than Blood's. It's definitely intense, and I like that, and it's completely different to just a normal, bullet sponge boss where you just shoot him a bunch of times or whatever. I definitely think this was pretty well thought out, and it's a nice way to end things with just not a dumb big boss fight. Would it have been cool if we got Dr. Monty versus the Shadow Man or something? Yeah, but we got what we got, and that's all they really had to work with. So needless to say, it's pretty good for what support Treyarch had at the time of making Tiger Toten. Another thing I really like is how they've improved Victus quite a lot. For those of you who don't know, these characters aren't just random people. These characters, known as the Victus crew, were in Black Ops 2. So we have Misty, the girl with Sulinger, the guy who can hear Rick talking, and Rustman, just a guy who kind of forgets stuff, and we have Marlton, the nerd. So all these characters have been improved from Black Ops 2, except Marlton. I still find him really annoying, and they probably should have just got rid of him. But oh well, I mean, he's still in the game, and he's annoying, but the rest of them are so good that I would class them as good characters overall. Another thing I would like to mention as well is able to pull off what it does without the reliance on Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man being involved so much. Obviously, we have the Apothicans in the map, as you see in the Easter egg if you ever do it, but without them in it, the map still has a pretty good narrative, I would say, up until the end at least. But with that said, that's pretty much everything I really like about Tiger Toten. So we can get into the bad now, but luckily there's not a lot here without me involving the BO4 engine or anything, so I'll just go over them real quick. So let's just get into the bad.
Of course this would happen to us! Calm down!
So, as I said before, don't worry, we're not going to be here long. As far as things go, there's a few small things like RNG with the box. So if you want the wonder weapons, a lot of the time you're really going to have to do them side quests. Even though they're somewhat long, they're still kind of easy to do. But if you want to get a thunder gun from the box, I wouldn't really rely on that. Look at it this way. I went to round 50 on tag a few weeks ago, right? And I didn't get the thunder gun until round 35, and I was consistently hitting the box. I had fire sales on, I had temporal gift on as well for whenever fire sales dropped, and it took me until round 35. So I don't know if that was just really bad luck, or that's just, how it normally is. But other times I'm sure I've gotten it before round 10 or whatever, but just keep that in mind when you're playing. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is the Easter egg ending. Now, by no means is it personally a bad ending, but it's definitely underwhelming to what I was expecting to be the grand finale of Call of Duty Zombies. But to be honest, I feel like them doing this probably means that there's going to be more because the characters are still alive. If you played Alpha Omega, there is phone calls from Sulinger where pretty much she says they're back at Transit, Diarized and Buried, and as we know, there are remasters of these, and these will take place after the Ether is destroyed and the new Dark Ether storyline will start or something like that. They'll find some way to drag it out, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, like I said, there really wasn't a lot for the bad, so we'll just move on to what I think of the map and if it's worth your time.
Nearly over, but one thing remains.
Overall, Tag to Toten is one of the best zombie maps to date. It gets pulled back a wee bit because of the BO4 engine, but there's so much you can do in this map and it's so good for old and new players. This partly due to the Call of the Dead design and the improvements they've made with this remaster. This is how a remaster should have been done for Blood of the Dead, because all the areas that have been added in here are for more enjoyable content, but Blood was more make the map big and make it look cool. But like I was saying, with so many improvements from Call of the Dead and new content put in, all I can say is this is the best Ether map in Black Ops 4 Zombies and you need to give it a try. So, I guess this kind of comes to the end of all the Ether reviews for Black Ops 4. So I will give you a little insight to next week's episode. It'll be a sort of director's cut of sorts of all the reviews put together and kind of edited in a better way. So stay tuned for that. But if you liked the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, then please consider subscribing if you want more content like this. Also leave a comment on what game or zombie map I should do next. I will do Chaos at some point and I'll probably do a completely different video for that. But please, if you want me to do them sooner, leave it in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
I would like to return to my home, my beloved, before the bombs fell, if only to die by her side.
I see myself at peace, serene, sitting beneath a cherry-blossom tree, listening to the joy of my children at play.
I think I'd like to teach medicine, maybe pathology.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I think I'd be a darn good DI. Get those kids toughened up.
I would like to be in favorite bar, but as long as I have vodka, I am a happy man.
I would like to know for sure that I brought honor to my ancestors and the Emperor.
I should probably try to relax. Take up a hobby. Maybe I could open a morgue.
Let me think about it. Wherever I go, you know I'll be kicking ass.